right, good afternoon and welcome. We hope that many of you are watching. If nobody's watching, that's okay. We'll pretend you are. But we are squeezing in today this farewell for Pastor Sam because it's a busy day. We have prayer and fast. We have Pathfinders happening, and they have thankfully adjusted to start a little bit later. We have the Ontario Conference Mission and Leadership Summit. So it just happened to be the day that Pastor Sam's last day was a bunch of other stuff going on. So we are squeezing this in, but we don't want to make it a rushed thing. We are taking a little bit of time to say goodbye and thank you to Pastor Sam today. And we had a fairly short notice of his departure, a little shorter than we have sometimes with some other pastors leaving. So we've had a lot of people that have been able to scramble and record a lot of things. So we're going to see mostly recorded things. But I'm going to start off by just sharing a message from Pastor Ida. And you know, Pastor Ida is not well right now. She hasn't been well. She's getting better, I think, but we need to keep her in prayer. So in normal circumstances, you know that she would be here to see you in person and say this in person. But that's not possible, so I'm just going to read her message, her farewell message to you, Pastor Sam. So you can imagine it's not my voice, but Pastor Ida's voice, which is probably quite a stretch. But anyways, here's what she said. Hi, Pastor Sam. This is just a short message to say how much I appreciate you as a valuable member, the youngest member of our pastoral team. You exhibit qualities that are worth emulating, not only by your peers, but by us of a more mature age as well. Your first name, Samuel, seems to capture the essence of who you are and what you stand for. Sincerity, authenticity, magnetic, look at that, magnetic, useful, energetic, and loving. You portray a teachable spirit and are humble in your approach to life. Keep on cherishing these Christ-like qualities as you go throughout your personal and professional life. And then she goes on to say, I will certainly miss you, especially at staff meetings, on occasions where Google seems to be your best friend, your go-to in times of emergency for the meaning of a strange word, which in some of the books that we're reading we come across. Words such as synonynar. Is that one in the dictionary? I'm not sure. We know you will do well and will continue to keep you in our thoughts and prayers. At least I'm happy I'll still get to see you at MNC meetings. Thank you for allowing me to use your name as an example to illustrate emotional well-being in a previous seminar, even though Pastor Jake and I weren't given that good side of things. It was a privilege, she says, and I certainly enjoy it and will cherish the moments. Keep on being your intelligent, caring, and considerate self. Please continue to use yourself safely and effectively in ministry, and remember the biblical meaning of your name every day, especially as you communicate with God. Samuel, God has heard. Blessings on your transitioning. So that's from Pastor Ida, and we'll hear from our other pastors later, but we're going to start with our club ministries. Pastor Sam is our young adult, youth, and children's pastor, and so the leaders of our different clubs and departments have been able to put together some little messages. Our technical team, we thank you. They have worked long and hard and late into the night to make sure this can all work out. So a lot of this you're going to just be watching, but enjoy it. Just imagine that the people are here. So we're going to start with the little ones, and I wasn't going to watch these, but I had a reason to, and I've watched these, and I'm just warning you, there is a cute alert happening in advance of these messages from the adventurers. So let's start with the adventurers.
T for terrific.
T for terrific.
H for helper.
H for helper.
A for amazing.
A for amazing.
N for nice.
N for nice.
K for kind.
K for
K for kind.
Y for you are special.
Y for you are special.
O for outstanding.
L
For outstanding.
outstanding.
U for unique.
U
For unique.
And thank you, Pastor Sam. We will miss you.
And thank you, Pastor Sam. We will
We will miss you.
Hi, Pastor Sam. On behalf of the Adventurers Eager Beaver class, we just want to say thank you for everything that you have done here at Willowdale. It's been a blessing to have you with us. The Eager Beaver class just want to say
bye, Pastor Sam. We're gonna miss you.
Hi, Pastor Sam. This is the BCB class. We would like to thank you for being a wonderful pastor. We will miss you, and may God bless you as you continue to serve the Lord. BCB, say bye, Pastor Sam.
Bye, Pastor Sam.
Okay, hang on. I'm just going to.
So long, Pastor Sam. We will miss you very much.
Bye, Pastor Sam.
Lecture. Hi, Pastor Sam. The Helping Hand class would like to share important information about hygiene.
Brush and floss your teeth every day. Take a bath every day also.
Wash your hands before and after eating and after using the washroom.
Drink 6 to 8 glasses of water every day.
The most important thing is to have a clean heart.
Bye, Pastor Sam.
Bye, Pastor Sam.
Bye.
God bless you.
Bye, Pastor Sam. Bye, Pastor Sam. Bye, Pastor Sam. Bye, Pastor Sam.
Right, and actually, are you able to see okay from there? This isn't blocking you, okay. All right, yes, that was, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have called Alden cute, but the rest of it was pretty cute. That was nice. Thank you, Ming. Thank you for getting the adventurers together to do that. So we're going to move on up the food chain to our Pathfinder Club. You're going to see some interesting things here, I think. So this is from the Pathfinders.
It was the beginning of COVID when I decided to start taking Bible studies. I knew things were changing and I wanted to keep close with God, and Pastor Sam agreed to do Bible studies. Each week we spent time in study, and over time I got to learn that he's a great guy, funny, approachable, and great Bible teacher. He even took me out for some bubble tea. Thanks, Pastor Sam, for all you do. You definitely helped me keep close to God during these changing times. Thank you. I'll definitely miss you. We'll all definitely miss you. All the best, Pastor Sam. God bless.
Dear Pastor Sam, on behalf of the Willowdale Warriors Pathfinder Club, I wish you a fond farewell. We thank you very much for your support and participation in our club events. Unfortunately, we were unable to spend most of our time with you in person, but we really appreciated the virtual connections. If being transferred to Danzu will take you closer to achieving your goal in service to God, then congratulations. It is a truly bittersweet parting. However, this is not the end of our time together. As we know, it is a matter of time before you're back at Willowdale in the senior pastoral. Pastor Sam, thank you for laughing, baking, playing, praying, praising, eating, and serving with us. Downsview is very blessed to have you. By the way, please remember, once a Willowdale warrior, always a Willowdale warrior. On a personal note, I'd like to thank you, Pastor, for spending time with me and helping me learn the Bible and grow in faith. Thank you for being part of the most important event in my life so far. Thank you for baptizing me. I will always remember you, and I wish you the best.
All right, thank you, Merlene and Pathfinders, for doing that. It's helpful to know that you're after my job, even if your dancing is a bit questionable. As you can see, some of the Pathfinders are mature, and then there's, the pastors and leaders. But that was our Pathfinders. Thank you, Pathfinders. And of course, next up are our Master Guides. I know that you're a bilingual guy, but this is going to be a bilingual message.
Dear Pastor Sam, Willowdale Master Guide, thank you for the knowledge you shared. In Daniel 12:3 says, "Those who are wise shall shine like the brightness of the firmament, and those who turn many to righteousness will shine like the stars, forever and ever. Keep shining."
Dear Pastor Sam, it has been such an honor to have you as a part of the Willowdale community for so long. Preaching at Willowdale for 3 years is honestly an accomplishment, as before the pandemic, our farewells had been kind of annual. So give yourself a pat on the back for that one. We've enjoyed your charisma, relatability, and passion for so long, so although it is sad to see you go, we do know Downsview is sure and very sweet. On behalf of the Willowdale Master Guides and Master Guide trainees, thank you for everything, and we can't wait to see what else God has in store for you. Take care.
All right, and thank you, Jasmine, and thank you, Nathan and Deandra, for those messages. So you feeling good so far? Good, you should. You should see that how people appreciate you. We're also going to have a word here from our head elder, Andrew Conroy. And so you can take note of what he looks like. Message from Andrew.
Ever since a 20-year-old fledgling pastor stepped up to the podium and delivered his first deeply insightful sermon, Willowdale Church knew it had something special in you, Pastor Sam. In what would become your trademark, sermon after sermon would deliver profound spiritual truths with a maturity far exceeding any chronological expectation. They really hit the mark, as one elder put it. Your ability to easily relate across multiple generations, to be a stable influence to teens and young adults, and to communicate God's word in a transformative way has endeared you to us all. You've shown us how to live out the Christian life with an unruffled enthusiasm. You've shown young people how to anchor their faith in Jesus and how to walk with him on a daily basis. And you've shown us that turtlenecks and suits really can work together. God's richest blessings and guidance as you minister to the Downsview congregation. Our loss is their gain. Oh, and one more thing. The Pittsburgh Penguins, clearly not going anywhere. Neither is the sport of hockey, for that matter. It's time to embrace the beautiful game. Football, soccer. Manchester United awaits your undying allegiance.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Andrew. We probably won't take a poll as to who looks better in the suit and turtleneck, if it's Pastor Sam or Andrew. Kind of a different look for Andrew, but there you go. He might have started something. So thank you, Andrew, for those words. I especially appreciate your comments about Pittsburgh. So we're gonna transition now to a couple of the ministries, and going to start off again from the little and go up. So we're going to start with our children's ministries, and these are from our Sabbath schools, which is really the main thing that's happening with children's ministries during the pandemic.
Goodbye, Pastor Sam. God bless you in your new church. Bye. 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 Bye.
Hi, Pastor Sam. Here's a message from the junior Sabbath school class for you.
Hi, how are you? We're going to miss you more than ever, Pastor Sam. I hope your new church treats you well. God bless you.
Goodbye, Pastor Sam. Have safe travels. God bless you to the new church family.
May God bless you wherever He leads you. Good luck, Pastor Sam.
God bless you and your new church family, Pastor Sam.
Goodbye, Pastor Sam. May God be with you.
May God keep you safe in your new church.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Pastor Sam.
Pastor Sam.
All right, and thank you, Jan, and thank you, Sue, for recording those. One of the most interesting things, if you ever take the opportunity to join the junior or primary Sabbath school, is the unending creative use of the the little extra pictures on the videos. It's sometimes it's hard to stay focused on the lesson because there's great creativity budding among our youngsters. All right, so we heard from Pastor Ida, but before, I'm jumping ahead. We have the youth ministries, and this is a series of videos, and I think, Pastor Sam, you're probably going to have to come up here, maybe stand up here in the middle and maybe grab this microphone, I believe. So we're going to kind of interact between the videos, and then Sue is going to do some of this live. So you just stand here and be the recipient of whatever's going to happen.
Okay, Pastor Sam, we want to thank you so much for being part of our youth ministries. We appreciated having you as a student, and then I remember when you got dropped in here, right at the beginning of your ministry was VBS. Yeah. And that is a lot to take because we have a busy, busy church here and a lot of kids. And I remember your face after the first day. It was just like you had just been through a tornado or something like that. I don't know if you felt it in the inside or if you thought you were hiding it, but I could see it totally. So we're glad you made it through and you've made it all the way to this point. Before the youth go on, there's one thing I always wanted to mention, really, to the both of you, which I thought was funny, and I'll save it. I've saved it till now. I often send the two of you emails, and you know how Outlook will autofill and autocorrect, not autocorrect, but autofill the name. So when I type the email in, I have to type G-O-D, and up pops Darren Godso. And to get Pastor Sam, I type S-I-N. So just some food for thought for you right there. Something that we can leave you with. But in the meantime, the youth have put together a video for you. I'm gonna have to give you some things, and you're gonna have to do some things. So you gotta be on your A game here.
Okay. Hi, Pastor Sam. The youth here at Willowdale have loved getting to know you and having you as part of our church community. We've had so much fun with Sabbath school and VBS and Vespers and movie nights and laser tag and so much more. We really love the way that you're able to explain the Bible and talk to us like a friend, and we're really going to miss having you here. But before you go, we'd like to give you some advice on how to make this transition to your new church. So we've made a list of 10 things which we think you need to know to get your new church to like you. Good luck.
A good pastor has to be able to turn anything into an object lesson. To demonstrate your creativity and spiritual wisdom, we are going to give you 2 test cases to see how prepared you are. We will let Pastor Godso judge how well you did. Ready? The first one is an old pair of shoes, and the second is a sandcastle. You have 90 seconds. Good luck.
Oh, okay. Oh dear. An old pair of shoes and a sandcastle. Oh dear. And they both have to coincide, do they?
No, you can do two separate ones.
Two separate ones. I know. Okay, sometimes in life, our relationship with God can look different, It can look, so for some it may be a brand new pair of shoes, but for others it could be a worn out pair of shoes. And, regardless, those shoes can take you from point A to point B. So it's important to never really compare your journey with someone else because, you have gone through a lot and other people may have not gone through a lot, but regardless, you both have the same destiny. You both have the same, thing waiting for you, and that's God in heaven. Okay, that's the shoes. Now the sandcastle, 33 seconds. Sometimes in life, you build, right? You work on a project for so long. And you're proud of it. And then in the twinkling of an eye, in the coming of a wave, it just disappears. It disappears. All your hard work goes away. But, the beauty of it is not in what it looked like after, it's the amount of work you put into it. And you just remember the amount of work you put in, and that will carry you in life. Amen.
So you're basically saying we earn our salvation by our works? Is that what you were saying? No, that was pretty good. Actually, I was impressed. I'm not sure if I was edified, but I was impressed. Maybe that you're just full of it, but 8.7 out of 10. How about that? That's
not bad. Good job.
I'll take it.
That should say wow them at potluck.
Potluck. I see.
Go to your first potluck with a delicious dish to share. Because we love you, we have one ready for you with instructions on how to make it for your first potluck.
Here you go. That is for your first potluck.
Oh dear, okay. Good to know. With the church. With the church, not by myself. Always have snacks.
So we should always have snacks in our office. Use a starter pack for your new office. Just don't tell Pastor Gosso where they are. He has a history of stealing snacks from other pastors.
I agree. Thank you.
Learning names is very important. Take the time to learn the names of the people in your congregation. Let's give you a quick test to see how well you did here at Willowdale.
Oh, like what's their name? Pastor Daniel Kirk? Oh, man. Godso? Darren Godso? Ida Smith. Oh dear. Yagosh Ivanovich. Nicholas Conroy. Dallin Godso. Nathan. Selena. Teresa. Abby. Oh dear. What is that? Pirate Sam? Oh gosh. That is not the best, is it? Let's move to the next slide. No, we're going to keep that up.
Never be too old to get down on the ground and play with a child, or too young to have a cup of tea and listen to an elderly person share a story. So we would like to give you these two gifts as a reminder.
We know a youth pastor can be asked to present a devotional at any type of event with only a moment's notice. So to keep you ready, we are giving you this book of devotions to help you out.
You can endear yourself to a new congregation by sharing a joke when you begin your sermons. Here are a few to get you started.
Which servant of God was the biggest lawbreaker of the Bible? Moses. He broke all 10 commandments at once.
Why did Noah have to punish the chickens on the ark? They were using foul language.
What kind of a man was Boaz before he met Ruth? He was ruthless.
Pastor Sam, we don't want you to get into any trouble like you did with Pastor Godso, so we really advise you to keep your sports affiliations to yourself. If you don't remember, it got pretty heated.
So I was very surprised and very pleased and shocked even when we came here, and I see, if you see that Pastor Sam has finally come to his senses. But you know what you could do? You could maybe go talk to Pastor Sam, because I understand that he kind of has a soft spot in his heart for penguins. He feels sorry for penguins. Maybe he'll care that you're hungry. Just keep your hat on so you don't get cold.
Read a little. So, just remember to wipe your feet before you come in. I found a piece of trash that I could, put as a footrest. I just took the liberty to redecorate a little, and it's really nice. I was able to work on my sermon this week, and it was.
Don't compare any churches to the church family you had at Willowdale. No one will ever measure up.
Be yourself and let God keep working in you to grow your ministry and bless those that you serve. We wish you all the best. Don't forget the church that loved you first, and may God bless you wherever you go.
And one more little. There you go.
All right, thank you, Sue, for organizing all of that, and to our youth for all that good wisdom and good memories. And you can pack off some of the goods there. All right, so next up is, make sure I'm getting this right. Yes, Pastor Jake is going to share some words, and of course, I take no responsibility for what might happen next.
I have a hard time getting there.
We just don't know. So
I really have a hard time getting there. Can I start from here?
Oh, sure. But do you want to?
Yeah,
want to lean, or you want to?
Gradually, it's always hard for me to say goodbye to the people. I have a hard time, really much. I don't know why. It's always in my nature, but there is actually expression in my country. It's said in a dearest possible way, saying you become a big donkey. Okay. As he said, he's not responsible for what I will say here, but that comes with the endearment. And here is endearment. You did not came here in a Valley View, in Willowdale, just like that. You came because of two people who invest in you. I just want to acknowledge them. And they're your father and your mother. What they instill in you, it's who you are today. I give you some foundation that are just immensible. I'm very honored knowing you. There is a lot of capacity that me and Pastor Godso will pay attention on and observe what you will become. But real heroes behind your success is your parents. They are the heroes. They did everything. I never met your sisters, but I believe they are also genuine as you can be. That's why even more it's saying goodbye, it's hard. But thank God you're not that far. At least for next year, you and I will share the meal, hopefully in Bella, as you know. But anyway, thank you for sharing this time with us. It's good to know. Hope that we make some impact on you in your ministry through our jokes, through our talks. Sometimes rough and tough, but that's part of the ministry, part of the team. And I always cherish my time here in Willowdale. I hope that you will do that. And you are blessed. I can tell you, being a first church in Willowdale means a lot. And may God bless you and keep you wherever you're going, Pastor Sam. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor Jake. Just to clarify, so he's a big donkey?
Donkey.
Big.
Yeah.
Hold that close to your heart.
He actually, wherever he is now, he's just he's just the product of a lot of things that happened, people that were part of his life, and obviously God blessed him with a lot of positive things. Look at him. Okay. He's ready to conquer the world.
It's one of those things about 3 a.m. it'll start to make sense, maybe.
Yeah.
Thank you, Pastor Jake. Thank you, Pastor Jake. That's That's the interesting thing about cultures, right? The transmission sometimes in the language can be creative, but that's interesting. So we have thank you to Meredith, our church photography leader, and Alden, I know, who worked a lot on this, and our technical team, because we have this whole live streaming thing where we had many versions of background music, but they were not accepted or acceptable and could shut down. So hopefully this one won't be shut down, but this is just a few of the pictures that we were able to garner of your time here. So let's enjoy these.
Hey guys, Pastor Sam here. I want to tell you guys a little story. Like Pastor Godso announced last week and Sister Norma mentioned it today, we're coming to the end of my chapter here at Willowdale, but I'll be transitioning to Downsview in a month. And I'll save my goodbyes for my last sermon, but I can't go on without saying how much I appreciate all of you and my time here at Willowdale. Once again, this is Pastor Sam. Till next time, stay safe, wash your hands, keep social distancing, and we'll talk soon.
That was interesting. Thank you again, Kudanans. That was good to see. That first picture was when you were here as a student pastor. We grabbed that picture of you before you left in the Blue Jays thing. That's when you were just young. Still young. So Pastor Sam, don't you feel like a victim right now? Yes. Samuel Anderson Sinanainer. What a long name. What a long name. Sammy. Anybody ever call you Sammy? Yeah? We should have called you Sammy. That would have been so much easier. Sammy. Sam. Samsung. Dim Sum. Can we call you Dim Sum? Is that okay? Is that okay with you? Would you like that? Good. I like it. Dim Sum. I'm going to call you Dim Sum from now on. How are you feeling so far? You doing okay? Feeling good? Comfortable? I'm finding it kind of hot in here. Are you? It's usually cold in here, but so I've been the respectable pastor. You know, I'm dressed up for your little farewell thing here. But is it okay if I lose the tie? Is that okay with you? Like, I know you're a young adult. Like, you're not going to be like horrified like Pastor Godso isn't wearing a tie, right? Okay with that? Because I'm finding it kind of warm. And I've got a lot to say. It's still kind of hot in here. You finding it warm? I'm not really comfortable yet. Don't worry, there's an end to this. Like, don't worry. By the way, I want to say about Cameron Conroy, this is the truth. This is the truth. And what a hypocritical amen from this man over here. This is the truth. God is my witness. Over the years that I have been here as a pastor, I cannot tell you how many times other pastors have come and said, hey, the youth pastor has chocolates or whatever candies in his office, let's go get it. And you know what I say 100% of the time? I say, no, those candies are there for the youth pastor and the youth, not for the pastors to take. And 100% of the time I don't, Cameron, we're going to talk. Cameron's probably like, I just read the script, man. I don't know what, maybe Sue and I should talk. But I cannot believe that I've been accused of stealing your candies, because I actually don't. Tempted, but I don't. I'm starting to feel better. Do you feel better? I feel a lot better. It's just not so hot. And yeah, I feel a lot better. So, we knew you wouldn't be here forever, but that doesn't mean that we're not sad to have to say goodbye. And I know that you're loved, I know you're respected, I know that you're appreciated by the Willowdale family, and that includes, I think, not just the children and the youth and the young adults, the people with whom your ministry role is most specifically connected, but I think we can say you're appreciated by the whole church family for sure. And hopefully you heard a little bit about that today. Your ministry has been a blessing, which is why we want to take this opportunity to say thank you. And yes, it'd be nice if we could all be here and like have one of those cakes at the end or whatever, but we still want to do this. Some of the qualities we see in you, Sam, is that you are humble, you are fun with a great sense of humor, you're a talented person, you are respectful of authority, you're respectful of biblical principle, and you relate well to people. And even if you are naive and misguided when it comes to hockey teams, we love you nevertheless, in spite of your failings. And I'm pretty sure, I expect that people of Willowdale have expressed and will express their sentiments of appreciation to you. And I can't cover all of that because I got enough anyways. I want to just say a few things from a personal perspective. And Sam, I feel like in one way, you and I have a bit of a special bond because we both went through that pastoral field experience together. You obviously for the first and only time as a student, but also for me, it was my first time in that role as a mentor pastor. So we were probably both a little like not sure how that's going to work and a little bit uncertain. And it was also the first time for this church family to host a student field experience pastor as well. And this is a great church to do that in. So my experience with you became kind of the baseline going forward. And I really, truly thank God for sending me and sending us someone like you young as you were, someone with whom we could have a positive and fulfilling experience. That really was good for the church family and personally. And I think of it now, and man, you were so young. Look at that picture of you, little Sammy. Poor, inexperienced little chump who didn't even have enough life experience to know how to do things like tie up an inflated balloon. Good grief, who gets into university and doesn't know how to do that? Man, they never tell you, right? When you sign up, they're like, okay, these guys are at a basic level. But look at you now. Look at you now. All grown up, good collection of turtlenecks going there. Grown up sort of, with a handsome and flourishing beard. Look at you, look at you. And I remember, Sam, you sharing with me when you came to Willowdale for that field experience that you actually had some questions, right, about whether you were really called to be a pastor, and you were feeling some uncertainty about whether this is what you really wanted to be doing. I remember you sharing some of that. And then I also remember before you left, you shared that your time here with this church family had helped solidify your sense of calling and your commitment to ministry. And as a church family, that was encouraging for us to know that hopefully we had a part in establishing that. And Sam, I want to say that I sincerely and truly believe that you're the real deal. That God has indeed called you, that he has gifted you to serve him and serve the extension of his kingdom in this world. I really believe that. I think something just kind of clicked between you and Willowdale, right? You've been to other churches, but you came here and something just clicked. And that's something that my wife and I also experienced as well. We were just here for one Sabbath, not for 6 weeks, but it just felt right. And somehow when you were here, it just felt right. So off you went, back to school, back to finish your degree. And then unexpectedly, we had no way of knowing that was going to happen. Pastor Kevin was offered and accepted a position at Kingsway, and suddenly we were in this position of needing a youth pastor. And when the idea was put forward at a staff meeting not too long after, it turned out that, I don't remember who actually voiced it, but as soon as it was voiced, everybody was already thinking of it. Everybody already had that in mind, all the pastors and the staff at the meeting. And we thought, like, hey, Pastor Sam is going to graduate soon. I wonder if there's any chance, could it happen that the conference would call him to come and serve at Willowdale? So that idea came not just to one or two of us, but it kind of came to all of us. And you know how it is, right? Normally we're just assigned pastors. We don't really usually have much opportunity for input. But in this case, we took the initiative. And I began campaigning some of the conference leaders about the possibility, hey, we don't have a pastor, and hey, Pastor Sam is going to graduate. And they didn't make any promises at the time, but they were open to considering the possibility. But they said to us, he's still in school, he's not done. Are you guys willing to wait for a few months because he's not done finished school? And we said, if it's Sam, yes, we're willing to wait, definitely. And then, the Ontario Conference, they're not really known for being the quickest to confirm hiring students from university. They kind of have a bit of that reputation. And I remember those conversations with you back when you were finishing your degree. And I always counsel university ministry students, don't wait and hold out for a job from one specific conference or one specific church. If someone offers you a job, you should take it, take the job you have. And that was what I had told you before, and now I was waffling on my own advice. Because even though my head said you should take another job, my heart said differently, and I was really hoping it could happen that they would hire you for Willowdale. And it turned out you were given good offers by at least 2 other conferences, right? While the Ontario Conference did what they have the reputation of doing. They told you, oh, don't accept any other jobs because we're still trying to figure out what we're doing. Hold on until we get around to it. And so you held on, which was risky, because when you don't accept other jobs, they'll probably give them to someone else. But you held on, and here you are. And I believe that God had his hand and his will in this. Even though, with the July 1, July 5, July 2 starting date debacle, there was a little bit of challenge when he actually started. But in our hearts, he started July 1. Your first day of work was a vacation. Or a holiday. That's pretty good. But the thing is this that I want you to know and remember. I feel like your relationship with Willowdale is special because you weren't just assigned to be a pastor here. And we didn't just receive you as the latest pastor who happened to be assigned to come here. We chose you, and we wanted you. And you chose us, and you wanted us. And we were all willing to wait and hold out for that possibility, even though it wasn't guaranteed for you and it wasn't guaranteed for our congregation. So I really feel like God brought you here. I really believe that. And I'm, on the one hand, I'm kind of sad that so much of your ministry here was under the COVID shutdown restrictions. On the other hand, as we've discussed, we probably got to keep you a lot longer than we would have if things had been normal. So we can be thankful for what's happened there. Sam, I know that you have a genuine heart for people. I know that you care about them, and you care about them from an eternal and a spiritual perspective. And I hear that in conversations. You have a true pastor's heart, especially for our young people and for our young adults, our children, and that comes through in you. I appreciate your willingness to take on the responsibility of operating and really pretty well single-handedly leading the separate collegiate class to help engage our college and university youth in Sabbath school when, with COVID, it's been hard. And you took on that responsibility pretty well every week. Thank you for doing that. And I want to say to you, another thing I really admire about you is that as a young adult yourself, you take Adventist belief and lifestyle and life seriously. And I know you think very thoughtfully and intentionally about how your generation is going to live and serve as Adventist Christians. What does that mean in the real world, day-to-day life and day-to-day choices? And I think you have provided a good model, a good example that's worth following of thinking seriously about that. It's easy to just be popular and fun, but I see in you that you are serious about those things. And like all young adults, of course, you have questions. Older people have questions too. But I see that you're looking to the foundation of biblical teaching and principles to sort out and work through those questions. You're not just going with what might be the easy, current, popular opinion. And you know that your pastoral colleagues, we tease you that we're glad that we're just going to be retired and we don't have to figure all this out, and good luck to you. But I encourage you to keep working through all the hard stuff from the perspective that you're doing. That's going to be it in ministry. And keep on that track. And Sam, I want to say to you that I really, really enjoy and benefit from your sermons. I do. I look forward to them. They're clear, they're profound and thought-provoking. They challenge me to think. And I will miss hearing your sermons. Not enough that I'm going to come to Downsview, but I'm going to miss hearing your sermons. So I want to say thank you for your diligence in preaching. And personally speaking, I want you to know that during your time here, Sandra and I, our kids they've been in the children's and the youth and the young adults. We've kind of covered all those categories. And I can tell you that my kids really like you as their pastor, and they're sad to see you go. In fact, for Dallin, I feel like he probably considers you just as much a friend as a pastor, maybe more a friend than a pastor. And, when I think about this, I am comfortably over double your age. And then I remember, Dallin is less than 4.5 years age different from you. So it's kind of crazy. We're colleagues, but you're like my kid's age. It's ridiculous actually, you young buck. But thank you for being able to be in both worlds, right? To kind of be young, but be adult as well. I know that Dallin is really looking forward to when you come to Andrews to attend the seminary. So I hope he doesn't harass you too much, but I know he's looking forward. Although, I got to be honest, I don't really know exactly how I feel about you being around my son. Given all the incidents, right? Right? See, I don't know if you people know. I don't know if you know what kind of an influence you have been on some of these young lives. Right, Pastor Sam? See, take for example what I like to refer to as the Tim Hortons takedown fiasco. the Tim Hortons takedown fiasco, right? Is this a true thing? Yes, and I am not making this up. This isn't like, some joke or something. This is true. I'm telling you a true story. Pastor Sam can verify, right? I mean, I haven't told the details yet, but it's probably going to be, this is true, right? Put your hand up and tell, yes, okay, all right. So, up until meeting you and associating with you, Pastor Sam, I think my son, I don't know, do parents really know what their kids are doing? But I think my son has generally lived, kind of a generally quiet life. He doesn't get in too big a trouble. No problems with the law or anything like that, right? Right? And we parents, we can be so trusting because how could we have known? But this really actually happened. So the youth had gone to play laser tag up in Richmond Hill, and I remember it. When I dropped off Dallin, I happened to meet you in the parking lot. You were coming at the same time. And so we said hello, and I said something about if you had an idea when I should be back to pick Dallin up. And Sam said, it's okay, Pastor God, so don't worry about it. He would be happy to drop off Dallin and Nicholas at home when they were done, so I didn't have to worry about coming back. Isn't this true? Everything's correct so far? All right. So he's a pastor, right? He's a pastor. Like, I should be able to trust this guy with my kid. If only I had known. So here's what happened. This is true. On the way home, Pastor Sam offered to stop for a treat or a snack or something like that at Tim Hortons, which seems to be a trend I'm noticing, that this stopping to eat food is quite... Anyway, he said he's going to stop at Tim Hortons, but unknown to him by that point, for some way along Yonge Street, he was already being followed by the police, and they had already called in backup. Is this true? This is true. So they get inside Tim Hortons. They're standing there in line to order at Tim Hortons on the corner of, in case you think this is just made up, it's the corner of Yonge and John Street in Thornhill. You look it up on Google Maps. You can see the Tim Hortons there. And suddenly there's a bunch of police presence, right? In fact, the police officer had called in at least 3 other cruisers. I don't know how many officers. And by the time he came in to interrogate Sam, they had both entrances of the parking lot completely blocked off with their police cars, as well as another car strategically blocking Sam's vehicle from going anywhere. So this is no light matter. So now, because of Sam, now nobody can leave. Nobody can leave the parking lot. Everybody's stuck there like it's some crime scene. Nobody can get into the parking lot because it's all blocked off with the police and their lights and everything. And why are the police there? Can you imagine? They're coming for Sam. That is bank robber Sam. Right? I'm not making this up, right? Bank robber Sam and his accomplices, his 2 accomplices. Because apparently there had been, that evening, or the day before or something, there had been 3 young men who had robbed a bank dressed in dark clothing, kind of like what you might wear when you're playing laser tag. So the police tell Sam and his 2 fellow felons that they need to stay inside of Tim Hortons and not try to leave because the place is surrounded by police and going outside is not going to be a good idea right now. So they tell you to stay put, get your food, and sit down, right? Is this true? Put your hand up and testify. Yes, all right. And then, if you think that's bad enough, it goes from bank robbery to the additional charge of vehicle theft, right? Bank robber, vehicle stealer. And it turns out that the supposed ID that Sam provided to the police somehow didn't match the plates on the vehicle that he was driving. Probably the vehicle he stole after he robbed the bank, right? So now think about this situation from a parent's perspective. These 2 teenagers, these are young, innocent, impressionable teenagers who are left to sit there and try to eat something while everyone in the place stares at them because they can't leave because the police are blocking everything, wondering what on earth they were guilty of bringing about such a strong police presence for, right? Is this true? And of course, all of this is understandable, right? Because, I mean, Look at him. He does look kind of shady, doesn't he? I mean, could this guy be a bank robber? Stand up for a second. Just look at that. Look, could this guy be a bank robber? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, unquestionably. I mean, I'd kind of wonder if I saw you driving along in dark clothing. So it turns out that the ID didn't match because Sam has Quebec plates, because he's secretly a Montreal fan, and the police were punching in, I think, the letter O instead of the number 0, right? So it wasn't matching up. But I mean, really, like, most youth pastors aren't foolish enough to take the head pastors and the head elders' kids and try to get them arrested for crying out loud. You know, most guys are like, maybe I'd like to keep my job or something like that. I'm sure my son is scarred for life. I don't know if he'll ever recover it. I'm just saying, next time you suggest taking the boys to Tim Hortons, which, by the way, I haven't even told you about what happened the next time, right? Isn't that true? Isn't that true? Outside in front of my house, more bad news because they made the mistake of going with Pastor Sam. Oh my goodness. And finally, I do feel compelled to address one other issue. One other issue. I will have to say that I have not taken such a delightful interest in the Stanley Cup NHL hockey playoffs in the last couple of decades. I hardly know what's going on, but I have enjoyed immensely these past 2 years. I have had such immense joy watching you suffer and seeing your poor, fat, feathered Penguins flailing around hopelessly, all while the dear Montreal Canadiens have flourished. In fact, basically it seems that any team you root for seems doomed to lose. I've given it a name. I call it the Sinaninar curse. The Sinaninar curse, and we've seen it played out. And lest you forget, because I heard whatever you were babbling about before the sermon began today, lest you forget, I still hold you personally responsible for choosing to join me in cheering for the Dallas Stars in 2020, thus leading to them losing the cup to Tampa Bay. That was your fault. Things were going really well until you came on my side, right? And I also hold you personally responsible for 2021, right? When you finally came to your senses and you decided to finally put your support behind Montreal, who were doing an amazing run, and promptly what happened? You caused them to lose the Stanley Cup to Tampa Bay. And now, as you mentioned this morning, it's true. There are the Pittsburgh Penguins, second in the Metropolitan Division, tied for third in the Eastern Conference. I don't normally check out hockey statistics Friday night, but I did in this case. And Montreal, like you said, is sadly somehow last in the Eastern Conference. Thankfully not last in the league, they're barely above that, but it's not looking good. And I was trying to look it up, but I'm not sure there's even a statistical miracle-worthy possibility for the Canadiens to make the playoffs. I don't even know if it's even possible, right? Is it no possibility? I want you to know that I hold you personally responsible for this tragedy. You, personally responsible. You, Pastor Sam, because I'm trying to figure, like, how could this happen? Because this, what about the curse? This doesn't make sense. And as best I can tell, I think hockey fate has somehow figured out that you wouldn't be here at Willowdale anymore by the time of the playoffs. And that takes all the motivation away from the Canadiens to succeed. So I'm pretty sure it's your fault. I can think of no one to blame but you. So, I heard your little thing this morning. And I'm good with that. If the Penguins, I think the Penguins are like my 7th favorite team or something. So I can't really be sad. But if the Penguins win the cup, you can come back and preach. But here's this. How about if the Penguins don't win the cup? Maybe you can also come back and preach and stand here and hold your head down once again in defeat. Should we make that agreement? We'll maybe schedule you in to come back and preach either way. All right, because I heard this thing, I don't know, some guy was, you can't remember most sermons, but some guy was talking about something, some sermon about contentment or something. And what I choose to do in life is I try to find my contentment in Christ, not Christ plus the Penguins. Just saying. I heard that in some sermon. Maybe you can look it up or something. It's kind of a good point. Nevertheless, just to prove that there's no hard feelings on this, I do have something for you. All right? And I'm gonna give the benefit of the doubt on this. I'm sure this must have happened by accident, because I can't imagine anybody being such a senseless fool that they would do this intentionally. But I actually found this, and I rescued this, of all places. I believe it was from the garbage can in your office. And I knew it must have been a mistake when I saw it there, because, what kind of an idiot would actually do that? And I don't know about you, but I mean, if you look at this thing, you would almost think that someone had wiped their shoes on it or something, some despicable act of a terrorist or something like that. But I'm pretty sure you're going to be needing this in the future. You might want to stick it in your window, or maybe attach it to your car or something like that. I think that might. So there you're going to look really bad if you don't accept this right now. So help me, if I find it in your garbage, you will see it everywhere for the rest of your life. You might wake up with it tattooed on your forehead. Just saying. So just so you know that we're okay. All right. All right. Oh, and by the way, I wanted you to know one more thing I should have maybe said before that. I wanted you to know that we all wish you well in your soon upcoming role of caring for a newborn infant. I can't remember, is it a boy or a girl? You don't know the gender yet? All right. I think you're going to make a great father. Oh, no, wait. I missed that. Sorry. Breathe. I meant you're going to make a great uncle. That's what I was supposed to say. A great uncle. Okay. Hopefully nobody lost their feed right at that point, because then you may not have a church to go to. No, a great uncle. Pastor Sam's going to be an uncle twice, coming up within a month or something like that of each other, right? So he's going to get that practice going in. So hey, Pastor Sam, we're going to miss you a lot. We're glad that you're going to be close at our sister Metro North Central Church, close here to Willowdale, but we are going to miss you here. Now, we do have a gift for you. So come up here. So take this and open this and tell us what's in there. No, I just said tell us what's in there. You really need to go to seminary. Oh my goodness. It's a piece of paper, right?
It's a paper, yeah.
That's the right answer.
Yeah.
I didn't ask you to read anything.
Okay.
I just said tell us what's in there.
It's a piece of paper.
So hard. All right. So on that piece of paper, there is some writing though, right? That has a dollar sign and some numbers. Yeah. And what that is the numbers that it was some point in this week when I was talking with Maria. And I know for a fact that number is inaccurate because more has come in. So why are we giving you a piece of paper with an inaccurate number on it? We have been and are collecting a gift for you, but we didn't want to just give you cash, right? We wanted something that you could remember us by. Maybe you'd say cash would be a good thing to remember us by. But I was talking to that woman, that lady. That's happening to me since COVID. What's her name? It's embarrassing. That's why I should write everything down. What's that woman? Her name's it's like a song or something, right? I don't know, la 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 or something. That's not it. I don't know. Oh, I know. No, I remember. It's loo 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 loo, something like that. I think there's somebody like that. I was talking to that woman, and she told me about something that you would like, which sounds like a really great item. Very useful, very functional, kind of techy. I'm sure it would be a great item to have, but kind of boring. I'm sure a good thing, but kind of boring. So the truth is, you're going to have plenty to get that for yourself. And you can remember Willowdale, or you can do whatever you want, We didn't settle the agreements, but one thing you could do is maybe use that money to go out for a special meal, to maybe find somebody that you could take for a special meal. Anyways, that's just a possibility we'd throw in there. But you're going to have plenty to get that other thing you want, but we wanted something more memorable. And I don't have it here to show you, because even if I paid an extra $60 or $70 in shipping out of your amount there, it still wouldn't have got here in time. So it's going to have to be delayed gratification. So I've saved wasting your money on shipping it here. I could ship it free to Dallin. So it's on its way. Next week it should arrive with Dallin. Then when he comes back for spring break, we can get you the gift. So I wish we could show it to you now. But I want to at least show you a picture of what we got you, because I was so excited to be able to find this. Okay. So it's not using up all of your gift money, but can we just show what I was able to find? It took a lot of work to find this. This is only using $176 of your gift money for this beautiful king-size duvet cover. What do you think? Isn't that? I know you're speechless, right? I thought you'd struggle to contain your emotion. Isn't that going to be nice? Can you imagine on a cold winter night just snuggling in underneath that thing, closing your eyes? No, I'm just kidding. Actually, that's why it's good that some of us are married, because were it just left to me, that might actually be your gift, because I really did consider it, and it really is nice. I mean, we could always probably return the other thing, but actually that's not what we got you. Because we do actually like you. We do actually love you, and we're not trying to ruin your life. But I was looking for something else. I was imagining something that I wanted, and I spent a lot of time searching for it. I was looking on Redbubble, and I was looking on Amazon till late in the night, and there were some things there, but it wasn't really what I wanted. I'm like, well, we can get Sam this. I was kind of discouraged and disappointed, frankly, because I had in my mind what should be, and I just couldn't find it. And I came back at it another day, and I tried, and I found this website that I didn't know about. I didn't know it existed, fanatics.com. Do you know that website? No, fanatics.com. And I started searching. It was probably like 2 a.m, and I finally found it. And when I saw it, I'm like, yes, this is what I was imagining in my mind might exist. So before we go, are you sure?
I'm sure.
Are you sure?
Positive.
You're passing up?
110%.
100%, okay. So this is what we actually do have you, a little thing to remember us by. We can show you this one. So this, because I imagine, what if there was something that showed your favorite player, I believe, right? Marc-Andre Fleury, you're a goalie, that showed the 3 different teams he's played for, the Penguins and the Knights and the Hawks. What if it showed all of them? And then this is really cool, because you know this, but probably most people don't know this. December 9, 2021, just last December, unfortunately and tragically in Montreal of all places, your guy, Marc-Andre Fleury, was the 3rd person ever to do what only 2 other people before have done, who are Martin Brodeur and Patrick Roy. Yeah. So he was the 3rd NHL goalie ever to win 500 games. And this commemorates that. So what this is 11 by 14, like a picture. It's not a poster, it's like a picture. And it's signed by Marc-Andre Fleury. Not just like a copy of it, but it's hand-signed by Marc-Andre Fleury. And it has the hologram thing to prove its legitimate signature and all of that stuff. So when we get it here, we'll get a nice frame, and hopefully you can put it up. Yeah. And when you see it, you can remember that perseverance counts and remember Willowdale. Yeah. So is that better?
100%.
Is that okay? Okay. Because that other woman said that you might like something that's signed. Yeah. So hope you enjoy that. So we're going to get it figured out for you. When we get the final tally, we'll give you a check for the rest. And that's an expression, one way of the expression of our church family to you. All right? So, Pastor Jake, we're going to ask you to have a prayer for Pastor Sam, and then we'll let you say anything you want to say if you would like to. And I know we're really pushing it on Pathfinders. So,
but with your permission, Pastor Gotts, I would like to suggest that Pastor Sam have immediate response after what he heard from you. And if you want to say something, I would like you to say, and then I will have a word of prayer, because I'd like you to hear what you have to respond on all these stories. Maybe it's a fake, what he said about the takeout on Tim Hortons. Maybe you want to dispute that.
I wish I could, but no, everything Pastor Godso said happened, unfortunately. No, I'm speechless. I don't know where to start. It's been quite the journey. It really has been quite the journey, and I was doing the math. I came here at 19 years old. 19, I walked through those doors, and I was nervous. Didn't know what to expect. Didn't know what my calling was. I wasn't confident in my calling, I should say. And Willowdale really solidified that. You all really solidified that, and everything Pastor Gatto said was right. There was no doubt in my mind afterwards that, I belonged in pastoral ministry, and that really had a lot to do with you all as a church, and the way you embraced me, and the way you accepted me, the way the team just took care of me as one of their own. I felt like I was part of the staff, even though I wasn't officially part of the staff. And no, it was great. It was great. And I remember being in school, and I promise I won't take too much. I already preached. So I remember being in school my last year, and I tell Lulu this all the time. I was just so nervous. I didn't know what to expect. So you can attest to the fact that, as religious studies students, our future isn't as secure as we think. Like, it's all depending on the conference and if they want to hire us. And when interviews were starting, actually, I should go back to when my practicum ended at Willowdale. I remember it was my final Sabbath, and in the back of my mind, I don't know why, I don't know what it was, but there was this little budding confidence in my heart that this wouldn't be the last time I would set foot in this church. I don't know what it was, but I was leaving, but I knew it wouldn't be goodbye. It was just a see you later kind of thing. And then things turned out the way it did. And when the opportunity arose, I remember being in contact with you like on a weekly basis, I think, just kind of being updated on what was happening. And when I heard that you all as a church would be willing to wait for me to graduate, I remember going home that day and I cried. I really didn't know what else to do. I was praying to God every single day. God, I don't know what's going to happen to me. I don't know if I won't, I don't know if I'll have a call. I don't know if I have a job come graduation time. And all along he knew. All along he knew from the very get-go, from when I first set foot here, that this is where my journey would begin. And I'm so happy that I had more than 2.5 years ministering here at Willowdale with all of you, getting to know you, being a part of your congregation, being a part of your church family. And I know that, most of the time was kind of robbed, maybe I should say, by COVID, but yet we still made strides as a church in a pandemic, and I'm happy to be a part of that. We've upped our live streaming capability. We got live streaming capabilities, and we extended our reach in the community, and now people who've never heard of Willowdale can now watch and be a part and worship with us. So I think I look at that as a plus, and I don't know what else to say. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys, and I really look forward to the next time I come back and minister with you guys again. So thank you. Thank you for affirming my call to be a pastor. Thank you for being my first church, and thank you for making it a memorable one.
Let's have a word of prayer. Lord, thank you for these moments. It's not easy for us humans to break out relationship that was established, especially pastoral team. For me, it is hard. And personally, I want to thank you for the time we have Pastor Sam here, for his genuine attitude. And we want to thank you for parents which start a journey of Sam and instill in him everything that he is now. Those are the really true heroes of the story. Their sacrifices, their values, we can see in Pastor Sam. And of course, Lord, your presence in him. You brought him this far. You allowing us to have him for a time. But also we hopefully had good impact on Sam, Pastor Sam, as he is going forward in his new post. Not far away from us, Lord. He has another year to go until you send him to another step in his life. And then another, and then another. And who knows, Lord, until you come, what steps you have for him. But one thing I know, that the people will be encouraged, people will be blessed by having Pastor Sam in their midst. That's why, Lord, as we're saying goodbye to him, we know that your presence will be with him and guide him in forging ahead, gaining his own experience in his own journey in deserts of his life. That's why, God, thank you very much for everything that you did so far, for us as a church, for Pastor Sam as an individual, and may this departure be just goodbye until next time, because we want to see him again, and definitely we will. Thank you, God, for everything that you did so far, and thank you for future presence and fulfilled prayer in Jesus Christ's name. Amen.
Thank you, everybody. We've really probably pushed a little bit, the Pathfinders. Thank you for your gracious delay in starting Pathfinders. Have a good rest of the Sabbath, a good week. Goodbye.